Hi, my name is Tony Roman. People often ask me, Tony, are you okay? How are you holding up? And though I appreciate the concern very much, it's like someone scratching on a blackboard when I hear the question. Why? Because as I have said so often, I have always felt blessed to have had the opportunity to go into battle against the little dictators of the lockdowns, the enemies of freedom and their legions of mini Gestapo, the traitors and snitches, American citizens who embolden the enemy with their compliance, and even worse, those who act as agents of the tiny tyrants. I feel lucky to have been on the front lines of this new tyranny versus freedom fight, to be in position to be targeted by them, so I can then expose and beat them into submission. So I'm not only doing fine, I thrive when the enemies find enough courage to mount another attack against us. But another question I'm often asked is one that deserves an answer. They ask, Tony, have you suffered any dark days since making your stand? And my answer is yes, but not in the way you may think. I have some moments of feeling mostly disappointed when my fellow American business owners and leaders of various organizations visit and call on me from all around California and across the country and even from overseas for guidance and support as they look to tap deep down within themselves to find the courage needed to stand up. And after spending time with them, they promise to follow our aggressive and uncompromising blueprint for battling and defeating the wannabe dictators waging war on American liberty. But instead, I then learned they have quickly lost their nerve and only fight partially or not at all, and in doing so further embolden our enemies so they can so easily return to lock you down again. And sure enough, here they come with new mask mandates and more proof of vax requirements. So this time we have no time for the faint of heart in this battle, because an army of defenders of freedom is only as strong as its weakest patriot. You know, it's troubling to me when I see and hear others try and lead with messages of defiance, when they themselves, including politicians, community and church leaders, activists, businessmen and women, and especially restaurant owners, surrendered early on and complied throughout much of the lockdowns, if not in their entirety. And even now, when claiming to fight, they do so half-heartedly and are apologetic when doing so, and still make masks, the greatest weapon of the lockdowns, optional at best, inside their businesses, when instead they should ban them entirely as we did at our business. Just think about many of the candidates considering a run at the White House and those running for governor for California. Just about all of them are compromised in one way or another related to the lockdown issue. Most of the candidates have all either ordered lockdowns themselves when in office or have supported and enforced lockdown mandates. But with signs of more impending lockdowns, they all have another chance to finally take an uncompromising and aggressive stand for our country. And that is why this time around, in observance of celebrating Independence Day this month, I am challenging all those who label themselves as patriots, wanting to defend American liberty and freedom, to honor your promise to fight as we have and still do by signing the BASILICO'S Declaration and Pledge of Defiance. The enemies of liberty and freedom only respect and fear strength, so we must fight with the indomitable patriot spirit of 1776 that makes us uniquely Americans and our founding fathers proud. No other way is acceptable, and anything less is a waste of time. In that spirit, the business owners and others who sign this document declare and pledge to fight with us and like us by taking their stand as follows. Number 1, I will take my stand on day 1 of any ordered lockdowns. A hard, zero compromise, take no prisoners stand, and when doing so will publicly dedicate my business as a constitutional battleground, willing to sacrifice and risk everything I possess and own in the fight. Number 2, the stated purpose of my stand will only be in defense of American liberty and freedom. The fight is bigger than myself. I will take my stand for my country. Number 3, my stand will be in honor of our nation's founding fathers and the fallen heroes of our military, those who have risked and sacrificed everything for our American way of life. Number 4, I will proudly fly both an American flag and a "Do Not Tread on Me, Live Free or Die" flag in front of my business to signal to the community that I am taking my stand. Number 5, I will remain open fully without restrictions. I will operate with zero compliance, no sign of any mandates inside my business. My business will represent vintage America pre-March 19th, 2020. Number 6, I will remain open boldly. I will make the public aware of my defiance. I will not do it quietly in stealth mode. I will promote my stand, setting an example for others to follow. Number 7, I will flout any and all mandates, and when doing so will taunt, shame, challenge, and dare the enemies of freedom. I will show no fear. I will not just resist lockdowns, but instead attack them. Number 8, I will ban masks from my business and post signs in front notifying customers of my policy. We understand that masks are the greatest weapon of the lockdowns. They are used to divide Americans, just like the vaccination, and they represent fear, control, and surrender. Number 9, I will not use excuses, exemptions, or loopholes to justify my stand. I will not argue the science, giving it credibility as a determining factor of whether we can live and work freely, understanding that nowhere in the U.S. Constitution does science dictate freedom. Number 10, I will ignore citations, warnings, threats, and even notices to appear for court dates. I will do so not to give authority to those who have none over me in this matter. I will not allow lawyers to compromise the principles of my stand. I will not hide behind legal representation. I will not leave the destiny of my liberty and freedom in the hands of lawyers, courts, and judges. I will never surrender. You can find the BASILICO'S Declaration and Pledge of Defiance here at MakeRestaurantsGreatAgain.com. Here we will also proudly post the names of the business owners and their businesses and all who have signed and made the pledge, because we must never be shy about standing on the side of freedom, and in doing so we shall send a message with our strength in numbers. Always remember, you're Americans, act like it.